3, 2, 1, go!
We are Paul Leonard
and Bryce Graskowski,
and this is 20 Minutes of Fitness.
Bryce,
What's up?
how are you, buddy?
I'm good.
2 weeks
Just
in a row.
crushing it. Yeah.
Skipped a couple weeks. Now we're back on track.
Back on track. I was surprised we were going to get one in this week.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd be able to, honestly.
With
and
Thanksgiving.
Then, I'm leaving at 1 o'clock to head to Kona.
Okay.
And work is actually really, really busy.
Yep.
But then I decided I would leave work.
Good move.
Questionable decisions. I don't know.
Fitness as a priority.
Priority. I made that happen.
Or podcasting as a priority. We're not sure.
So, we did a little 1,000-pound challenge.
Not sure if you see that up there.
That's what we did.
The Rogue 1,000-pound Club Challenge.
So,
These
those numbers are kind of pathetic for us, honestly.
Actually,
I feel
that's
good about them, but like...
So this is less than both of our CrossFit total, which is way harder because it's strict press.
I think my CrossFit total is literally 1,000 pounds more than that. Like best
100 pounds?
100 pounds more than that. 1,000 would be really impressive.
Yeah, that would be real impressive.
No, I think it's 11 something.
Yeah, because you pulled a 545.
I pulled a 545.
You're talking about Alakai.
That was Alakai.
405 back.
I did a 405 back.
405.
You're right. And then I strict pressed
Two
2 something.
210, I think.
So it worked out to 11
and
something.
who won the total at their competition?
Oh, probably not me.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
by a good margin.
I don't know. I figured there's lots of strong people over there.
Yeah,
But,
there was one. There was one.
Yeah, I couldn't do that now. Today, the 255 bench was surprisingly about, not max, but jumping up to 275 didn't happen.
It was too much. 275 was a big jump.
And maybe it was just too big of a jump.
I
We
think
probably
so.
could have got to 275 if we were more patient.
Yeah, because 255, mine felt
Yeah, it was fine.
really good.
Yeah. I agree. And then the 345 squat, which you can tell by your 325 squat, was a little heavy.
I squatted yesterday, so
Yeah,
there's
that's
and deadlifted and whatnot.
And that being said, I could have gone up more, but I don't know how much more. Like maybe 5 pounds, maybe 50. I honestly don't know.
I feel like
it's not 50.
I feel like the squat. Yeah. No, it's not 400. I felt like the squat too was like maybe a 10-pound jump I would have been okay with.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd do 345 today though, even if we put it back up and whatnot.
And my 345 felt okay, so I could have went a little more.
I really didn't want it.
And
man.
then the deadlift, we did 455, and that got over 1,000, and we didn't keep going. Both of us could have definitely pulled more. Could we have pulled over 5? No.
It's only a
Not today.
1,000-pound club shirt. It's not a 1,060-pound club, so there's no point.
But like, if it was a 1,500 club, could we do it in our prime?
No.
Our prime?
No, not even close.
Because realistically,
You'd have to pull over 6. You'd have
be
to
over
squat
300.
over 5, and you'd have to bench 4.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So getting from the 1,000 to the 1,500, big change.
That might take some extra equipment.
Oh,
Yeah.
little fail the test kind of equipment.
Yeah. Took
Okay.
a little test, and I passed and failed.
So that was fun though. I'm
That was
glad
fun.
we did it. I told Bryce when I suggested we worked out today that I wanted to squat, and he said, "Fuck
Ugh.
that, I'm an old man." And then instead of just squatting, we squatted, deadlift, and
all good.
benched. But first time in a long time doing those movements, so it was fun.
Yeah. Especially at bench press, my shoulder is very suspect. So
Not happy.
that felt surprisingly good. So I'm glad we still have those numbers in the tank anyway.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
And considering I'm officially competing in 2 weeks and a few days.
Woo! Who's the boss?
On the 10th. So thank you to Scott for letting us in last minute because we did not have a slot, and then now we do.
So it's Boss Games at CrossFit Oahu, downtown Honolulu.
Set up by Surf and Shore, right?
Kaka'ako.
So me and my buddy Mana are going to knock out that competition.
See, that's why I'm wearing the Mana Mania.
shirt. There you go. So we did that.
You got to break out your El Diablo shirt. He has to wear his Mana shirt.
There we go.
Or trade shirts.
I don't think Mana owns any shirts.
He has this
Never
shirt.
seen him wear one.
He has this one. He's got 3 of them.
He uses it as a sweat rag.
Yeah. He cut one up, so it's a tank top, and he might have ripped the other one off like Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
That was at Alakai.
So
speaking of
things coming up.
Well, no, speaking of CrossFit Oahu, that's where that's going to be.
Okay.
So I did a little. I was in a searching mood yesterday of how the state of CrossFit.
Okay.
And that's hard to say outside of state. In state, it's really easy to say.
Okay.
Do you remember, like, I don't know, anytime that I owned the gym pre-COVID, around how many gyms were in Oahu?
I'd have to figure them out, but 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, you got to
4,
count them.
5.
It was between 26 and 29.
Is it that many?
Yeah. Because at one point...
Just in Oahu?
Yeah.
Wow. That's more than I expected.
Even last year, when I de-affiliated, for that little bit of time, there were 23.
Okay.
We were number 23, so would have dropped to 22. How many do you think there are now on this lovely island?
12?
13.
That's pretty good.
And you could, besides one of them, because it's in Good Vibes Gym, that you can name every single one, and have probably been in almost all of them except for Kolau. I don't think you've been to CrossFit.
I know the
Kolau.
owners really well, that one, though.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
really well,
They
but
won.
pretty well.
They won Cupids or on the
Yeah,
podium.
those guys are fit, and
Yeah.
they're super Mormon.
Yeah.
And he's a hell of a weightlifter.
Yeah.
I don't remember what course I did with them. Maybe my level 2 with them, with the two of them. But excellent people. I really like them.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Anyway,
so you're down
support
to
those guys.
So you're down to
If you're over by the missionaries.
13 gyms. That's sad. So that kind of gives me. I mean, that's part of the reason I sold, right? It's because I kind of felt like that was the trend CrossFit was going, which is basic extinction.
So how many gyms stayed alive and just dropped CrossFit?
Dude, I was surprised CrossFit East Oahu's gone.
Oh, I didn't know they were.
I guess their last post on Instagram was August. So, how many stayed alive? I don't know. That just dropped the CrossFit name? I'm not sure. Not that many, because maybe some, but not due to the Greg Glassman thing, or whatever, George Floyd.
Yeah.
Because there were still 23 last May when I was supposed to
So it's just since.
So they've lost 10 since May.
And that's just Oahu.
That's fucking nuts.
Whatever else is.
Maui is gaining on the other. The other islands are gaining because they only had like 1 or 2 on Big Island and Kauai. I think maybe 3 on Kauai, but
more than that. But that's okay.
They got Hilo Iron and something else, Kona, right? And
there is
on Big Island.
There's also Waimea All Star.
Well, now there's at least 3.
So All Star's been there for a long time now. Casey. And then there's the one Kauai High Harbor one.
Okay.
That one's been there for a long time. And then there's
so they've
2
been there
in
a while.
Kona.
Oh, okay.
So there's 4 of them that I know of.
Yeah, I think there's
one.
6 now or something like that. But
So there's been 5 for a long time.
I think they're up to 8 in Maui.
Okay.
Or something like that. Might even be more.
Yeah.
But yeah, backcountry, all those. So they're actually doing pretty well, and I would say that's probably because you need a little more money to live in those places, so you're not quite hit as hard yet with cost of everything else. And the rent's probably not as disgusting as here.
Probably not as bad.
Probably getting a little better, larger spots for the same money. So I'm not sure exactly why the difference between the islands, but definitely a.
Well, and even let's back up to
here.
CrossFit Oahu.
Yeah.
Brian used to own
5
gyms, and I think almost all of those are still alive, right? Waipio's still alive.
YPO.
Kailua's still alive.
Oh, Kailua was his. That's right. So 3 early.
Yeah. So yeah, so 3 of the 5.
Yeah.
And then is Zeus still around?
Yeah. Yeah. Over the west side, they're all still here.
Yeah.
There's only 5?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, North Shore used to have one. That's all, or 2. They might have had 2. They're gone.
Yeah.
But there's Honolulu, Hawaii, Oahu, West Oahu, Alakai. I don't know. Whatever. We're not gonna count them all.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so I just thought that was kind of interesting on the state of being of CrossFit. So in Hawaii, CrossFit Open numbers will probably be quite down. So we might have a chance.
There you go.
Top 10, back in the top 10. If you do it.
If I do it.
All right.
Probably will.
Probably. I'd say.
I keep drinking lots of coffee.
Yeah.
We're drinking coffee today. We normally work out really hard,
Caffeine
and then we're sweating.
Yeah.
But
not so much
today. We just lifted heavy things, so we're not really sweating that much. I mean, I'm probably still soaked in sweat. Oh, and I'm ironically wearing my Hawaii weightlifting shirt.
Oh, that's good.
That was actually a coincidence. But drinking coffee during our podcast is a very uncommon thing for us.
So we got Thanksgiving come up next week, so people starting.
This week, it's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's coming up quick. Thanksgiving, Turkey Day.
I'll be there. I'll be there for dinner, Mom.
So, Thanksgiving and tomorrow. So
people's views start looking at the end of the year.
People starting to think about all the bad choices they made this year. They got that COVID-19 they picked up over the way.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of like the freshman 15, but the COVID-19?
That's right. That's right.
Fatter. So people are getting close to the end of the year, and for some reason, January is the time where everyone's like, I'm going to get fit.
I'm going to start January
1st. Or now there's kind of the more trend of like, I'm going to start middle of December.
Yeah, so you're ready for January.
Yeah, I don't want to be the like fat guy in January, so I'm going to be like 2 weeks in guy.
Yeah. Well, we fooled them. We got the jump. We started last week.
Yeah, we're already going.
We're already going. We're already there.
Just in case Ocean's watching, my sole goal of getting leaner right now is so that I'm not the fattest of the three of us.
Good luck.
At
Good
your
luck.
wedding.
Good luck.
So I mean, like obviously you're the lean one of the three of us.
Yeah.
And so I just got to be just a little bit lighter, not lighter, but a little bit leaner than Ocean.
There you go.
And I don't know how realistic that is because I haven't actually seen Ocean in a little bit.
That'll be close.
But I'd like to be just a little leaner than you, Ocean. Just a little.
We'll see. We'll see. As long as I come in lean, I'm not too worried about you guys.
Well, I mean, we make you look good either way.
That's it. That's it.
That's why you picked us.
Surround yourself with bigger people. That's it. Make yourself look lean. There's tip number 1 for your New Year's goals.
Surround yourself with fat people, and you'll look.
Get rid of your skinny friends. They're bringing you down. They're taking away your self confidence.
If you're always the leanest person in the room, it doesn't even matter how lean you are.
It doesn't.
As long as you're the leanest in the room.
So one thing is that, right? People wait till January 1st to start, or my favorite thing. Oh, I'm going to start on Monday. Oh, I'm going to start on the 15th. I'm going to start on the 1st.
Well, and Monday's probably the worst one as a general statement. Because people are like, I still got this whole weekend, and this weekend I'm going to make up for all I'm going to do over the next while.
Really any weekend, most people do something on the weekend that kind of fucks with their fitness goals. Even myself.
Agreed.
So on Monday is like the worst day to not have a rest day. So I moved my rest day now to Monday.
Okay.
I just started last week, was my first one. And just for that reason, because you're coming off the weekend, people got to go back to work. Not me. People got to go back to work.
But you probably should at some point.
I should go back to work. And I probably shouldn't wait till Monday.
You're like, I'm going to wait until next year now.
I'm playing that
Monday.
Day.
He's like, yeah. I'm going to wait till January.
Right.
That seems like a good
I'm playing
time to
the
start doing
same
work
game
again.
that other people do with their weight loss. But yeah, that's the thing, right? You wouldn't wait till Monday to start a new job. You wouldn't wait till the 1st. You'd be like, oh, I could have the job. When do I start? Tomorrow, I'll be there. So why do we do the same thing with our fitness?
So you've been fun employed. I like to call it fun employed.
Fun employed. I like
For
that.
how long now?
6 months, almost.
Almost 6 months?
Yeah.
And
5 months.
5 months. And you're going to wait another month and a half before you start anything?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, just check.
We'll see. I have this thing.
No, just in the context of what we're talking about. I just wanted to see where you're at because you don't want to procrastinate. Because in the end, procrastination, it's just like masturbation. You're only fucking yourself.
I'm okay with that. I did say I was going to start all the stuff for November, right? In November, so that by January. But then we set our wedding date. That was the problem.
So in the meantime,
wedding
you're at
date
least going to
kinda
start
trumps
making content.
Yeah, I'm going to start making content. I already am, so,
No, like stuff that people want to watch.
True. Not 20 minutes of fitness.
Yeah, not this. This doesn't.
So what would you? So do you think people should start early before the 1st?
So I think that people should make a life decision and go for it, and not so much I think that the starting at a certain point in the future is super bad for you. So start with just back to Monday's the best example of that. Anybody who's like, okay, my new diet starts on Monday, eats twice as much crap on Saturday and Sunday because they're like, I'm not on my diet yet.
True.
And so I feel like if you're like, okay, I'm going to start my nutrition challenge January 1st, that means that the week of Christmas, you're fucking gorging, like way more than you otherwise would.
That's true.
So I think you got to start with like a smaller goal first. So maybe let's say, okay, I'm going to clean up my diet, but not restrict my calories now.
Yep.
And then starting January 1st, it's X per day. So that way it's like a baby step towards it.
Yeah. I kind of do something like that. Like I love Thanksgiving because it's an eating holiday. I like that, and it's lots of meat, like turkey, ham, whatever. It's a meat centric holiday, so I like that.
Yep.
And the desserts aren't really horrible. Like there's always like pumpkin pie is not that bad. There's usually like a berry pie of some sort. To me, apple pie. Those aren't as bad as like.
Well, pecan pie. That's probably the worst.
Pecan pie.
Man, is it good.
But like it's not cake and cookies, which is Christmas is just the worst possible.
It's like people bring out trays of baking after their gift or like cookie exchanges and stuff. Yeah,
and
that's
so,
the worst.
On Thanksgiving, I do like it because I can gorge myself on meat first, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of limit myself to small chunks of maybe pumpkin pie, like a really small slice. If I'm going to have
like a whole bunch.
If I'm going to have like carrot cake, pumpkin pie, and something else, they're going to be very small slices, so that I'm not feeling like, oh, I just ate a ton of sugar, right? So I kind of keep it down, but still enjoy myself on the meat end, where I'm eating way too much food anyway. But it's a much higher grade of food.
And by the time you get to the dessert, that's why you're picking the small quantities. Because honestly, you're full already.
Yeah.
Like you shouldn't even eat anything.
And I make myself eat a salad because it's one of the few times that there's usually a pretty decent salad sitting there that I'll be like, okay, I'll start with that. Because I'm usually hungry too going into it.
Oh yeah.
Because you plan it.
Yeah, you plan to be hungry.
So I kind of start with that, and then that helps you not feel like a fat ass. And just carry that over into Christmas.
Now, what about drinking?
Because people cut that they take that whole month and they're like, it's the holidays. Well, holidays are 2 days, right? It's 3 if you want to count New Year's Eve or something. But 3 days, that's not a month. That's 3 days.
Yeah.
So
writing off 30 days or 31 days
crazy.
Isn't a good choice.
In between, you got like Christmas parties or whatever like that. Okay, there's another couple of days maybe 2-3 days. That's fine. So enjoy yourself at those. But in between, try to start some of your good habits.
That's what I was suggesting. Like a baby step towards that January of, I'm still going to eat whatever the fuck I want on Christmas Day. And if that ends up being a whole thing of pound cake, make those bad decisions. That is what it is. But that one bad decision isn't going to ruin you.
No.
Whereas if you don't start until January, you'll probably make way more bad decisions all the way
And then 2 things. If you eat a shit ton of calories in a day, you can only actually digest so much. You're going to shit out a lot of it. Like if you eat 10,000 calories at Thanksgiving tomorrow, you'll be okay because your body is not going to absorb 10,000 calories.
No.
You're not going to gain, 3 pounds excess calories? That's not going to happen. It's not a thing.
And especially if you start with a salad and then you have a bunch of meat, because that's so much volume of stuff. Even if you're doing I guess the worst thing is liquids, right? Yeah. So if you're pounding a bunch of like holiday punch or like a bunch of beers or whatever, that's still just gonna flush through your system.
Drinking, like you're asking me about drinking. Yeah, same thing. I try to keep it down to a few drinks. So actually, I'll start with a drink. That way, that drink hits me harder.
Yeah,
because I'm fasting now anyway, so I'll definitely be fasted for dinner tomorrow. So I'll have a drink before. That'll hit me way harder, and then maybe 1 or 2 more.
So now, kind of changing subjects. You're cutting for your wedding right now, right? You and Tommy are both cutting.
Yeah.
Although I don't think Tommy has anything left to cut.
No.
But I'm sure she does in her own head.
Yeah, in her head.
So that's fine.
Yeah.
But
she's a woman.
You guys are doing the warrior diet right now, right?
Warrior diet, yeah.
So only eating for
4 hours.
But let's say even if you made that an 8 or 10 hour window, that's still a consistent and good thing for people to do.
A fair intermittent fasting schedule, yeah.
During the fasting periods, while you're fasting, you're not eating anything other than water?
Yeah.
Black coffee?
I've had a half a piece of cheese here and there, or like a couple handfuls of popcorn. So anytime you're fasting, I think it's under 60 calories, you'll stay in a fast. So if I'm really hungry, I'll have a little bit, but I do best just not eating anything. And I'm more strategic with my coffee drinking now. So before I would wake up and I would drink fucking 10 cups of coffee till the 10 cups of coffee are gone. Yeah. Now I'm waiting 45 minutes before I have my first cup. I'll have some water, which is good for you anyway to wait. It lets clears the cobwebs naturally without using caffeine. So if you just drink water, and then I hit my first cup of coffee once I start feeling hungry, that suppresses your hunger. And then generally around 10 o'clock, I start getting hungry again. I'll have my second cup then. And then I might have one in between, somewhere in there. And then
between number 1 and 2?
Well, in between 1 and 3, there might be 2 cups.
Okay.
And then around 2:00, I'll have my last one because I don't want to drink coffee really much after 2. But I do want some energy for making it through the fucking afternoon and going into my workout. So today I did eat some eggs because I worked out so hard yesterday. I was like, I need some energy if we're lifting heavy. So I had 4 eggs before I came here.
So now, back to drinking. So you wouldn't drink during a fast because that would be counterproductive to it.
Right.
But, so like Ben to stay not fat, he fasts every day.
Okay.
But he just skips breakfast. That's his easy way to cut some calories and help.
Yeah.
And he won't eat after a certain time at night. I don't know what his time is.
Okay.
Maybe it's 7 or 8.
So he's probably got a 10-hour window.
So he's getting a decent little
8-hour
window. And I think it's maybe 8 hours.
Two meals a day, roughly.
And that being said, he'll still drink during his fasts at nighttime.
Okay.
Which is kind of breaking the fast, or it is breaking the fast.
Yeah.
But I still feel like that's not a bad way to go because normally without the fasting, he'd be eating and drinking during that period of time.
Right.
So I guess my point is it's still productive to do anything better.
Yeah. You don't have to go.
That's right.
I'm going to do these 10 things. It's like.
And he would do even better if he was to not drink.
Right.
But
of course. But that's just not. Yeah, exactly. I like the party. And that's something you can use. You kind of get momentum, right? You want to build up momentum instead of starting in 5th gear. You got to start and build momentum and get to 5th gear. So, and this is what I like about maybe starting a little bit now, even if it is just as small as like eating smarter at Turkey Day. Then you build on that, and that's a little bit of momentum. You'll be like, okay, these next 2 weeks, I'm gonna try to watch. Because people generally last 2 weeks. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna try to stay good between now and Christmas, and then maybe you'll last 2 weeks of doing really good, and then it kind of falls apart by Christmas. But then at Christmas, you're gonna be like, okay,
up your antes. You're like, okay, it's almost New Year's now.
That worked at Thanksgiving. What I did, I'm gonna do the same thing for Christmas because all you gotta really do is avoid all the dumb cookies. They're not that good anyway. Some are.
Yeah, just eat the good ones and not the bad ones.
Yeah, and eat small pieces.
But lots of small pieces.
And so then you have momentum for that week a little bit. And then you're reinvigorated on the 1st when everybody has that momentum for the month. Right? So now
But we're gonna fuck that up on the 30th.
Yeah, well we're that's a different story. But you see what I'm saying? So now you're getting like instead of like the 2 or 3 weeks at January 1st, you now have maybe also gotten 2 or 3 weeks from
within that month before.
Yeah. So you could double the amount of time you spend on the diet. And if you can do that, it's easier. If you can make it past the 3-month mark, that's when change, generally a habit is formed.
Once you start to see some progress.
So it's kind of figuring out a way to get at least incremental change. And then it's easy once you do the increments because all it is like, oh, I just got to do this. The first increments are the hardest.
And the most frustrating part is when you're at that beginning of it and you're not seeing the scale change and you're not really feeling that different. Once you actually start to get results from it, that's where you really start to benefit. But that doesn't come for, honestly, 2 months.
Yeah.
Absolutely. At least a month and a bit.
At least a month.
Yeah. Before you really see any significant. And not to say you can't drop a bunch of weight quickly, but not weight that actually matters.
You won't see much.
You drop water weight like that.
Right.
That's different.
So that's another thing was like the marker during that tough time. Maybe like if you don't really exercise regularly, and I'm not saying you need to,
but you should.
Abs are made in the kitchen, right? Like
100%.
It's 70% of health is eating, right? Yeah. 20% is your workouts and 10% God knows what.
You can't outwork the bad habit.
Right. You can't
It's not possible.
Diet's number one. And so if you can at least change it a little bit, right? I don't know. It goes a long way, those little incremental changes, but you might not see them. So even if you don't work out, maybe get out and do something just to note how you feel. Like here we are, day before Thanksgiving. Okay, tomorrow morning before you eat all the food, go for a 2-mile brisk walk fast when you get back and see how that feels. And then in 2 weeks of eating a little cleaner, that's going to feel better. It should. It should.
Well, on the note of feeling better, get better.
Enjoy your
General
Thanksgiving.
Statement. Like,
your
subscribe,
Thanksgiving.
do all those other things you're supposed to do. Peace.
See ya.